So this might shock some viewers because I have been very bullish on BP in the past, but I've come to the conclusion that I'm no longer buying BP anymore, and I don't really think it's a good buy at its current prices. So if you want to know why I came to this thesis, and you want an alternative opinion to your usual buy BP now video, then this might be the video for you. In this video, I'm going to give you my updated thoughts on what I am actually going to do with BP because I currently hold 16,800 shares of the stock itself. Now, it's rare I do a video like this of talking about what I'm going to do with my shares. It's something that I sort of try and keep to the WhatsApp group, but I do feel that it's sort of needed because I was the YouTuber on YouTube pushing BP at its lower levels about a year ago, saying this company is extremely undervalued, and I've made a decent unrealized return on it. But I think it's now time to address the elephant in the room, and that is that BP is no longer good value, and I feel that it needs to be voiced. It really does, because there's a lot of new investors coming to the market every day looking at BP and looking at its levels from pre-Miley Cyrus and thinking, oh, this is a good buy, and it's not. We'll address it in this video. Now, if you do appreciate me being open and honest here, please do fondle that like button until it turns blue. It would greatly help me out. And if you want to ignore me and buy BP or any stock and get lifetime access to the LWT eToro chat room, all you got to do is sign up with eToro via the link on the pinned comment, deposit, make a trade, and you do indeed get lifetime access to our LWT eToro chat room. But moving on, why am I not buying BP? Why am I not bullish? Well, let's clear that up right now. I'm very bullish on BP because I plan to hold my stocks. I just don't plan to buy more. Right now, I feel BP, by every metric under the sun, is what I would call fair value. It's pretty much around about its current level of market cap, and I would consider it fair value, which means I do think it's going to go up in the future. I do think BP's got a great leader, Bernard Looney, the CEO there. I think that BP's got a green future going into renewable energies, and I think it will become one of the dominant forces in the world for renewable energies, which means surely you should be buying this company every day of the week. Not really, because the way I tend to invest is I want to buy a great company at a less than fair value. I want to buy a discount. The bigger the discount, the better. And that's what I did with BP. I have 16,800 shares with an average price of £2.39 a share. That's £2.39. I bought them on the London Stock Exchange, not the US ticker. But this is the point. I stopped buying into this company because as it went up, I think it will go up further. Don't get me wrong. I do think BP will go up further, but my investment strategy is not to buy a company or a business. Let's call it a business. Not buy a business at its actual valuation. I want to buy it cheaper. Think about it. If you were buying a house and the house was worth 100,000 and it was priced at 100,000, but next door was valued at 80,000, which one would you buy? It's the same house. It's a semi-detached house. You'd buy the cheaper one, and it comes down to finding this bargain. BP used to be a bargain. Now I feel it's sort of fair valued, and that's sort of my reasoning behind it. So will BP's revenue grow? Absolutely, I think it will. Will BP also grow in terms of profitability and in sort of industry into renewable sector? Absolutely. Do I think the stock price will go up over the next? Absolutely. I just feel right now there's a lot of risks here, and I'll talk about it. The first one really is the current situation, the fuel crisis we're currently in. This has short-term pushed up oil stocks like BP to the upside as oil demand has gone through the roof. But I feel this is going to be short-lived, and when it gets settled out, we'll see a big pullback in companies like BP, which means if I bought it now, the shares I do buy now are going to be down a little bit. So why not, if I do want to buy BP, just wait for that to happen. The second thing is oil itself is a volatile industry. The world is going renewable, and when oil prices fall, as it stands, BP is still an oil company. BP will fall dramatically too, and then you throw in the current market climate. We are in a very overpriced market historically. We are going to get a correction. We are going to get a crash maybe after that correction or during that correction. Who really knows? And when that happens, BP will become interesting to me again. At this current price, it's not. It's simply good value, fair valued, whatever you want to call it, but it's not great value. It's not really undervalued, and that's the big issue with BP stock. So if you're watching this video and you're thinking, well, what the hell do I do? I've just bought it. One thing I would say is be patient. Buy into big red days, big corrections, big oil drops, and then you can average in slowly to the downside. But long story short, just be patient with it. I think BP's got a great, bright future, but it's going to be a volatile, bumpy ride. And if you're patient, you're going to get a good average, a good entry, but just be patient. Don't just buy it today because it's up 10% or you think that the oil crisis is going to get worse. That's not a good long-term strategy. Take your time, buy into BP when you think it's undervalued, not when it's fair valued. That's the point I'm trying to get across here. Now, one thing I do want to say is this was voted for on Patreon. So if you want to check out Patreon and vote for what stocks I talk about next, check it out down in the description. We've also got the WhatsApp group there. But nonetheless, if you don't want any of that, all I ask is you to smash that like button. If you want to see what stocks I do think are currently great value, check out that video up there because there's some hidden gems. I feel these stocks are going to be the next type of BP plays because they are seriously undervalued. That's it from me. Drop the code word down below, Looney, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.